My name is Matthew Bennett, and by my side is my son, Callum Gage Bennett.
How you doing?
This is FMA plus 12 Gage in lockdown.
Episode 4, The Birth of Podcore, where podcast meets metal, with our very special guest, Jojo from Pulverise. Welcome to episode 4 of FMA plus 12 Gage in Lockdown World. We're joining you here from Whispering Oaks Amusement Park, and it's very quiet, which is probably a good thing.
It is, it definitely is. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of running.
And shooting.
My
name's Helen, and I'm here to assist these two.
What? These two? Is that how I get introduced? These two?
Well,
I am two people. My name is Matthew Bennett, aka FMA, and I have the power of two people stored within my brain.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Callum Gage Bennett, aka 12 Gage, and I don't have the power of two people inside my brain.
That's because I absorbed it all. I did a ritual when you were born, Callum. I absorbed all your youth, all your brains, and all your beard.
Oh, my beard. That is an obvious lie.
Cool. And we're also joined by a super special guest today, which is Jojo from Pulverise, from the awesome band Pulverise. Everybody give Jojo a round of applause.
Hey!
Hi, Jojo.
Hiya, how are you doing?
I'm okay. So yeah, Jojo, what are you and what do you do?
I am a Jojo, aka Jojo. I'm a vocalist for the sort of rap metal crossover, lots of different styles of metal band Pulverise. We're based sort of Leeds, Bradford area, and we're not touring up and down the country at the moment. We're all in our houses, probably in our gym jams, drinking tea.
Awesome. That's the hardcore life, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we met purely through Facebook, didn't we?
Yeah.
I sent you a message because I always had people, when I see like they do music on Facebook, it's like, add that person, check out what they do. Because I'm autistic and I can't do social things, that's how I make friends. So that's how I met you, and I introduced myself, and then I started checking out your band, and your band was just so cool. You hit on the exact same things that we try and hit on, where it's about fun, it's about energy, and it's about bringing people together and just enjoying the music rather than pausing and stuff like that. And so that, when I saw that, it was like, oh, these guys are awesome. And then I started listening to you more and watching your videos and stuff, and it's just cool.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
It's okay, but yeah, that's the best description I have of Pulverise, that you're just cool. It's like, it's awesome.
But
it's cool.
I mean, that's likewise like what, like I said, when you introduced yourself and I checked you guys out, and again, I saw those similarities with the messages and that energy and bounce and just sort of more community rather than competition and stuff, and it's like trying to work with each other and things, and I dig that. That's our vibe too, and that's like we kind of had the tagline as well, the Pulverise Partycore crew, and that's kind of the point, is that life's too short, so we might have these serious messages, but we're going to do it in a fun way.
Yeah, 100%. And I remember the moment where it proper clicked that we were super, super similar, because you watched the video for Unstoppable and you were like, oh, like with the kid. And then you sent me a picture of that kid at your gigs who were doing like one of your songs. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. You never see bands get kids up on stage to join in and stuff.
Have they got their own Logan?
Yeah, they've got their own Logan.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, it's a kid called Joshua, who we sort of nicknamed Moshua. And we've known him for a few years now, and his parents have been really supportive for him and supportive to us. They come and see us a lot, and this kid is just so cool. He's so charismatic. He had interest in music, and we started getting him up on stage and stuff, and to start off with, and you could see his confidence growing, that little attitude coming on, and he is making music now. He's a few years older, plays guitar. He's learnt so damn quick.
That's awesome,
to tell you, like, you need to check out his Moshua. I'll try and find out his details to give him a
cool. Well, we can always leave them in the comment, in the links.
Yeah, I'll put you, because he's so impressive, and he's Yeah, he's going to go a long ways, laddie. He makes me really proud to say.
Yeah, no, that is.
Tell whether you're speaking about it. That's so cute.
That's proper awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that in the description or comments or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
But for the first song of the podcast, we will be playing a Pulverise song. I played this to you too just a moment ago. Breaking Point. It's awesome, and you do that.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, you do that sound, and I love making the same sound, and it's like I can't do it right now because I need to hear the song to know it, to explain it. But there's like this scream, it's like a deep scream, and it sounds really comfortable to do. But I do it loads, like when I'm doing stuff, and you do it loads in that song, and it's like it's just a good sound. What a review of a song! Oh, she does this sound in the song. So check out this sound that Jojo makes in the song. It's really, really good. I like it.
I describe things in sounds as well. Like when when I remember a song, I remember the blips and the sounds and stuff rather than the titles and what it's about and stuff. It's like, oh, it's that sound what goes da-da-doing in the middle of it or something. It's like, and I expect people to know what it is from that.
Well, I'll listen to it again, Jojo, and we will talk about it some other time.
Cool.
But yeah, your voice is proper good in this song, and you do one bit in the second verse where you go all funky and I don't know. There's just this like four count.
Yeah.
Go, nom, 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 nom. I don't know. That's my impression of you. You do it different, though. There's something that you do different in that verse.
It's the ragamuffin style. It comes out with a dung dung.
That exact thing. It's absolutely brilliant, and because it comes in the middle of a verse where you're not doing that, it's proper stands out even more. But yeah, anyway, this is Breaking Point by Pulverise. And that was sweet, soothing sounds of Pulverise with Breaking Point. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. That was awesome. I love that song. What? That was a perfect way to bring it back in.
It was brilliant. I loved it.
I would also love to hear Pulverise while randomly come in, like easily listening at like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. And now with the sweet, soothing sounds of Pulverise. Exactly, that exact thing. That'd be brilliant. That'd be awesome. Yeah, we should start a radio show and just do that.
What, have like really calm, relaxing music, and then just place in like really hardcore metal
Yeah,
everywhere.
but with mathcore in the middle of
God.
it. Some Dillinger.
Yeah,
That'd be insane.
Really heavy music, but a really soothing old radio sound centre between each track.
That would be absolutely awesome. That'd make a really good show.
That would.
Or like a comedy skit.
Yeah, I'm going to write that.
Yeah, because one of the really good things for comedy, we're going down a tangent, but I'm following this tangent,
Okay.
is getting two things that don't work together. So,
Like a father-son rap band.
Yeah, well, no, but like two things that definitely, like a smooth, old DJ doing the most hardcore, brutal metal in the world.
Yeah.
That'd work really well together. Because I always thought the idea of an assassin who was a pacifist was a really good idea.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I'd ever get that working. How would a pacifist assassin kill people?
Should we come off the tangent and back onto what we
Oh,
wanted
right,
to
okay,
talk
yes.
about?
If you know how a pacifist assassin would kill people, please let us know in the comments.
You'd
With
kill them
love.
with kindness.
Kill with kindness.
With love and kindness, that's what he'd do.
Or just think really mean things.
Just stare at them from across a road, giving them evil eyes. I'm
Yeah.
like, you.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, for the second part, we're on criticism.
Ooh.
Because I've been thinking about criticism recently.
Mm.
Because of some things in our personal life, but also some other things that aren't in our personal life.
Oh.
And I just think it's a bit mad. I don't know. I need to get to the exact start of this.
Okay.
Right. Criticism hurts when I believe that criticism hurts the most when you haven't created something for yourself. I think if the creations that you're creating are purely for yourself and have been created just with you in mind, and you give them out to the world, I feel like the criticism won't hurt as much. Whereas if you're creating something for other people, it hurts a lot more. So if you like met a girl and you like thought, oh, I'm going to write the most beautiful poem, and she's like, what's this?
That's shit,
That
mate.
would hurt like hell.
I didn't mean to say it like that.
It's fine. But yeah, do you see what I mean? But like, yeah, because I've got like a few levels to go down on this. But
Okay.
let's just talk about the upper levels of criticism to begin with.
All right.
Yeah?
Well, there's like constructive, isn't there?
Yeah, that's one of the things we learnt at uni.
Oh, yeah.
Which
yeah,
is-
definitely. It was so weird, though. Like, I'm pretty sure you had it too, but going into uni and, like, as someone who's just written for themselves for so long and, like, kind of self-critiqued things, and then going into a room having, like, the teacher read what you've written out in front of a class, and, like, it might not sound how you hear it in your head.
Yeah.
And then the entire class is there like, yeah, I really liked it, but I didn't like that bit, or that bit, or that bit.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of gives you a thick skin after a bit.
It does. It seriously does university, because before that point, I was happy for people to tell me about stuff, but it's still, oh, I don't like that line. Oh, why do you, oh, right, okay, and I get really defensive, but like uni beat it out of me, because you have to listen to what other people say. I feel like, especially on the internet, we've lost sight of what criticism should be, because everyone is being criticised at all points, all the time, and things that you love are being criticised, and it's just like, I feel like people take it on to heart a lot more, because one of the paths I'm going to go down with this is that there was a video game that I started playing recently, and it was a sequel to a video game that I proper loved.
Devil May Cry.
Yeah, Devil May Cry, and I just couldn't get into it, and I was wondering if it was me, but I looked up reviews online, and I found some guy that was saying the exact same thing as me. Almost all reviews of this video game were brilliant, but this one guy had almost the same criticisms as me, and the replies to him on Reddit were like, oh, you're just causing trouble, or you're just hating. It's like, what? They're valid criticisms. I have the exact same ones, and it's like, it's just strange.
I think it's weird because, like, also with art or anything, it's like people can form like a genuine bond or emotional attachment with something, and see it almost on the same level as like a family member or a friend or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they can, like, as soon as that gets criticised, it's like I'm going to war for that thing because I love it so much.
But the thing here was the criticisms weren't even that big.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, it's just not as good as the other ones. And everyone's like, oh no, he's talking nonsense, he's just wrong. And it's like, ooh, what's going on here? It's just weird. Like, really weird. You're nodding sagely there, Helen. Like, I know. I feel like you're going to say something.
No.
Oh, right, okay. Even though we had a conversation about criticism the other day and you were like, oh yeah, I have something really good to say about that.
I did.
Yes, oh, right, okay.
But it was specific around gaming.
Yeah.
And that some people, if a game is criticised that someone has actually found really helpful as a way of escapism or as a way of coping with things that they've got going on, it can be really hard for that coping strategy to then be criticised because you do develop that emotional connection. I think as soon as that emotional layer is there, it's really hard to hear bad things about it because it can feel like an attack on you.
Yeah.
Even though it's not something that you've created yourself, but you've lived as that character in that game.
Yeah.
So if something about that game is attacked, it feels like it's something
personal to you.
Personal, yeah.
What do you have to say about that, Jojo? I
think it's like, walks life really. It's like your criticism, your opinions, your beliefs and everything, they are personal. They what make up your being. So if when people disagree with that, there's going to be that taking it personally. And I think you've got to learn to sort of not necessarily take it personally. It's just accepting that everybody has a different belief and it's not necessarily that anyone's person is right or wrong. That's just how you have to think of it. And it's like, if somebody doesn't like it, it's like, so what? You don't like it, just sort of carry on. But you can learn from those things. Like you said, if you're making something for someone, like a creative, then there is an audience for that. There's a customer base, so you need to hone it for your customer. That's a product you're making, essentially. So criticisms on games and things, it's necessary in a way. Yeah. It's just about doing it respectfully. And people who just then argue with those people who may have a contrary opinion, it's just bickering for the sake of bickering. They're not getting anything out of it. They're just they've taken it personally and not seen the construction of it. And somebody else, an outside person, has a different view. We learn from those sort of differences sometimes. It's not necessarily nice to hear, but there's an element of learning to think about it as a bigger picture.
I think it's important.
So, thinking about criticism, obviously, well, not obviously, people, I guess, don't know me, but I'm not really a creative in the same way that you guys are, but I am at the moment currently training to be a psychologist. So there's a lot of doing role plays, videoing sessions with clients, getting feedback on it, and I really struggled not getting any criticism in the early, stages of training, because I've very much felt like I'm here to learn and I want to be better as a professional, but I need some feedback on how to do that because I know I'm pretty wonderful, but
you are.
I'm not perfect.
No, you're not.
Thank you. And there's always room for improvement, no matter what you're doing and who you are, there is always ways to better yourself.
Yeah.
But then when we were reflecting on it, I felt like I handle the criticism really well because I've asked for it. I've invited that in.
Yeah.
I say to kind of supervisors, please will you pick apart this report that I've written and show me where things can be improved.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd feel if I thought I'd done the best I could do and handed it over and then they picked it apart without me. I think I would feel more defensive in that situation if I hadn't immediately asked for it. I'd be able to reflect later and kind of get it, but in that moment, I think my first response would be defensive.
Yeah, I think you can't help that first response. It's always like, oh, that's not nice.
A bit like gut punch, isn't it?
Yeah,
a bit like...
but it gets a bit easier. But yeah, how does criticism work in your band, Jojo? How do you all work? If someone's doing something not very good, do you have to work together and say, right, okay, we need to tell him that this riff needs to be better or the drum beat needs to be better? Or do you all work together or do you just... Because what used to happen in my band was, it was like, that's shit. And it was just like that. And there were 6 of us just like, no, you're being a dick. And it was well hard work.
I think it's coming over time, really. To start off with, we're kind of just really happy with everything that we're coming out. And as we've grown as a band, we are becoming more critical of ourselves so we can learn to better ourselves. So the criticism while you're learning, it's, like I said, it's an invited criticism, so you're kind of more mentally prepared for it. So sometimes we are like, oh yeah, that would dog shit or something, but more in a humoured way. We accept that each of us can be in different mindsets at a time, so we try and be aware of each other's mindsets. But again, that's come with time of learning how to be with each other and getting to know each other more. Closely.
How did the band start? I don't think you've ever told me this.
We've kind of all known each other for a long time. Daz, Vicky, and myself, we were on the same club scene. We've grown up the same sort of era, so we used to go to the same nightclubs and stuff when we were teenagers and early 20s and that. And so we've always been on the same sort of circuits, been in various bands and things. Tom and Luke both know Daz in their own right as well, so we've sort of we did have a guitar player, a friend of mine, in the first place, and then that sort of just waved out. We got Luke in. And then Tom joined us to be a 5-piece.
Cool.
But we've kind of all known each other, so it was an easy family unit to make, so we can be honest with each other and call each other out sometimes when we're being a bit dickish and
that's good
and things. But we do. We might not be right on the day, and we might go home in a bit of a huff, but we have a deep breath, and it's like we probably realise that something's going on in somebody's life, so that's why we've been like that. And just trying to be a bit more understanding.
Yeah, that's what it takes, isn't it? Understanding. If you can put yourself in the other person's shoes, and everything, like, it's easier to understand. Like I just said, understanding. That was wisdom there. That was pure wisdom.
Is that showing me age?
No, not at all. No, not at all. So what do we all think about not people who aren't signed or anything? What do we think about people who are like millionaires who can't take criticism? Because I find that, like, insane. Like, I remember Eminem, he was selling millions and millions of albums, but then he was complaining that he weren't getting 5-star reviews in that magazine or whatever, and it's like...
Source, wasn't it?
Source, yeah. And then, even now, he's still selling millions, and he's still annoyed about the people saying this isn't very good.
Yeah, about, like, online critics and
it's
stuff.
so weird that, like, I don't know, it's just so weird that someone would be so big, so... influential, have such a huge fan base, and then get caught up in the criticism from a few people.
Especially because you can imagine from like Eminem's early years that, when he was doing like the rap scene and the rap battles and things, there will have been so much criticism because that's such a part of the culture of it. So he will have, I'm presuming, grown quite a thick skin to get as far as he did. So what then made it so then that actually became an issue?
I don't know. Callum?
Well, I think what it is...
I was expecting the proper answer, not what you think it is.
Okay, the proper answer is... I think that there comes a point where you're surrounded by so many people who tell you that what you're doing is great.
Yes,
and it's because they want you to put out a good product. At the end of the day, they want it to sell, and what sells might not be what that online critic thinks is great, or that person thinks is great. Like, I've got, like... I used to say stuff about Eminem's, like, records and stuff after, what was it, Recovery, I think?
Recovery. Which
I
one's
heard
Recovery?
he was really upset about what you in particular.
I know.
Callum, I can't believe he called me up one night.
I'm still
upset,
waiting for the diss track,
crying.
mate.
Well, no, he didn't want to. He was that upset. He couldn't even think, Callum. He was hurt by you and your beard.
That's why he grew his arm. Right, as a tangent, I saw Eminem at Leeds, right? That was the first time I've ever seen Eminem live, and he walked out on stage with a beard. And I was there like, he's ripped me off.
Yeah, well, yeah, you did invent the beard,
That was my immediate reaction.
You did invent the beard.
That was my immediate thing. I was there like, he's ripped me off.
Yeah.
But the other thing I think is that when you get to that level, I think there's also a part of you that has to keep up appearance.
Yeah.
So Eminem made a lot of it by being that kind of sort of, you can think this way, but fuck you type attitude towards it.
Yeah.
And I think he's just tried to continue that. But I think, like you said in a previous podcast, how it's like rap is like screenwriting, but in a really selfish way.
Yeah,
They're
no,
writers.
it's like rappers are writers, but without the rules of writing. That's what I said. I know. That's exactly what I said, because it was so profound.
So it needs to go on a t-shirt.
It does. It definitely needs to go in. But they are writers without all the rules of writing, because they're writing enough words to be classed as short stories and stuff.
Yeah,
And it's like, they're not. I don't know, it's just really weird how people who are so big... Justin Bieber is another one, because he released that awful song, Yummy. I hope you've never heard it, because it's
I've
disgusting,
never, no.
It's awful. Yeah, Jojo's heard it.
Jojo loves it.
I don't.
And people were giving Justin shit about it, and he started posting pictures trying to get it to number one, so telling people to play it while they were sleeping and to play it on repeat and stuff. And it's just like, what the hell? This was like embarrassing behaviour. It was really embarrassing behaviour. Is that a dog I can hear, Jojo?
It's that is Rico just having a little bark at nothing.
Awesome.
Nice.
Hi, Rico. Everybody say hi to Rico.
Hi, Rico.
There we go.
I don't know why we all did that. But yeah, so like, what do we think about these multimillionaires who should have great big egos but can't let these like little things go? And especially when you write a song as awful as Yummy, it's like, what do you expect from that?
I think Callum's got the really good point about just, being surrounded by the yes men, so people will probably develop a thick skin quite early on in their careers to be able to make it, because it's not an easy business to make it in at all. Yeah. But then that thick skin just thins out
when
over
you're
the
surrounded
years.
by people telling you, oh yeah, that's brilliant. Like, if you think it's a juxtaposition, you've went from a ton of people saying you can't do this, you probably won't make any money off it, you probably, But that song's crap, and then you move to when you've got record labels behind you.
But here's a weird thing, right? These people still have record labels behind them, and all through their careers they will have had naysayers. So why? There you go. It's just a bit strange.
I think
perhaps we need to get one of them on.
Should we?
Yes.
Let's get someone big on.
Eminem.
And ask them why they can't take criticism.
Eminem, why can't
Quentin
you take criticism?
Tarantino. We'll get Quentin Tarantino on and watch him lose his mind.
No. No.
Have you seen the interviews where he gets so upset, Jojo?
No, I've not. No, man.
He doesn't like being questioned, does Quentin Tarantino?
It made me lose so much respect for him. Like, I used to love his movies and stuff, but after watching how he handles like someone just saying, listen, I don't think you should have said the N-word that many times in that movie. And then he loses his shit. He's like, he's sat there and he's like, you don't know film. You don't know what I'm trying to say. So, you don't know my message.
I think the lesson...
That's an artist, though, isn't it? So it's that's an artist's passion, And, I think we sometimes forget like that. No matter how much money you've got as an artist or whatever, you're still a human, and your brain is still a weird device, what we've not fully learned how to control, and if it's having these extremes of input from wealth and yes men, and then people, there's going to be some miswiring at some point, and they're going to say and do something stupid. I certainly have done that myself enough times,
It must feel like overload, I imagine, but
it's
like going from extreme hot to like extreme cold, that type of feeling.
Yeah, and how much do you scream in the shower when somebody's messing with the taps and it like goes from hot water to cold water? Yeah. It's like you go and that it's like, I don't know, maybe I have a little bit of sympathy for those at the top. Well, when they're having breakdowns anyway, when they're doing dumb stuff, it's usually because there's something going on, and not that they lost it a little bit. Like,
I definitely don't envy them.
No.
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing. I don't. I think it's hard to be in those positions, and as much as we are artists wanting those sort of lives, I want it to be a balanced life, not a balanced success, not an extreme of success. In that way.
Yeah, but to me, I feel like all creative people have a responsibility to other creative people, like teaching them how to behave and how to act and how to get the best art. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people don't treat it with the respect and responsibility that it deserves. Yeah. And I think that's my issue with people not taking criticism properly.
Yeah.
And I think it's purely for uni, is that? Because maybe if I'd never gone to uni, I wouldn't feel the same. But I remember when I was younger and writing stuff, I'd always give it to everyone and say, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, but again, that's it. You've got the control there. You're inviting that. Yeah. Tell me, give me some feedback on this so I can make it better.
Yeah. But even then, it's like, once I've, like I said right at the beginning, if I'm happy with something, then nothing anyone can say does all to me. It's just weird. I just find it really weird. Like, you've got these people spending millions of pounds on films, and they mustn't be completely happy with them.
You might have hit on it though. What? Because like with them being surrounded by people who are yes men, but also want the product that's going to make as much money.
Yeah.
Maybe they aren't completely happy with it. So when they get it brought up to them, like, and someone says, "Oh yeah, you could have done better here," they're sat there like, "Well, if I would have had like another 2 months to like just focus on this one bit, it would have been as like the thing I envisioned."
Yeah.
But the record producer wanted to put it out next week, so we'd like make the summer charts or something like that, anything like that, and it might be that they aren't actually happy.
That's a really good point, Callum. So what should we take away from this section? What have we learned as a team? Because we're a team today.
But we need to send Eminem a message saying it's okay, Marshall.
That's okay. So that's the first thing that we've learned. What else have we learned, Callum?
Second thing that we've learned is if we do ever get big, to not surround ourselves with yes men and take as much time as we want. Yeah.
What have you learned from this section, if anything, Jojo?
I think it's the thing about keeping it real and to yourself. I think if you're going to, with creativity, it's about something coming out of yourself. And once you get to a point where you start having to make it for somebody else or with somebody else's vision, you're not quite as happy with it. You know, there's something what's missing, I think. And I want to keep things with Pulverise as true to ourselves for as long as we can, you know. I'm aware that the industry may take things differently, but it's about keeping it Yorkshire tea.
Nice.
That's keeping it real, is that?
Yeah.
That'd be an awesome advert for Yorkshire tea.
Yeah,
Pulverise.
We're hoping to be like the first metal band to be endorsed by a tea company, either Yorkshire Tea or Barry's Tea,
the Irish
tea.
That'd be well cool.
Have you got in touch with him?
I'm not sure if we have yet. We keep making like little. There's always a tea debate going on in Pulverise world with fans and stuff. It always crops up somewhere or another.
That's fantastic. Well, we will definitely endorse that sponsorship if it happens.
Yorkshire Tea, if you're listening.
Yes, Yorkshire Tea and Barry's Tea.
Yeah, man, we drink lots of your goodness, and it keeps our throats nice and turned so we can get those crispy growls out and things.
Do you think? I find tea just ruins my voice.
You're not drinking the right tea.
Am I not drinking? Oh, I'm not drinking it right.
We need Yorkshire or Barry's tea.
Okay, right. Okay, well, that is what I will try. But anyway, for this, I think we're finished on this section, are we?
We have.
Awesome. What's coming next, Helen?
Is the story next?
It is the story.
The story that the first thing I've ever read out in my life where I've actually had to remove my tongue bar because it was that difficult to read.
I'm proud of this story. It's a 200-word story. And it was written in a writing class, and the only thing that was given was a little toy dog, and it was a prompt, and it was like, write a story about this, and it was one of those magical stories that came to me all in one go. You know those magical creations, Jojo, what just sometimes you write and it just happens. It was one of those. So this is Flip the Dog, written by me and read out
by me,
by you.
Flip was a dog. A very happy dog. And he was a very happy dog because he got to spend all day doing what he loved best. Flip loved to flip. From the very minute that he woke up to the very second that he fell asleep. Flip, flip, flippity flip. But this flipping wasn't to everyone's taste. Next door to Flip lived a fluffy cat called Fluff. Fluff couldn't stand it when Flip went flippity flipping. Fluff was always saying, "Stop that, Flip. I really don't like it when you flip like that, Flip." But Flip would ignore Fluff, and Fluff, without fail, would fluff up in frustration. One day Flip thought to ask, "Why do you get so fluffy, Fluff?" "I fluff because you flip, Flip, and when you flip, Flip, it flipping fluffs me up." Flip flipped and ignored the frustrated and flabbergasted and fluffed up Fluffy Fluff. Fluff furiously flailed in frustration, then flopped to the floor. "Stop flipping, flipping, flip!" Flip didn't falter as he frolicked, flew and flipped. "I flip because I flip, love to flip, and if you don't flipping like it, Fluff, then you can flipping fluff off."
So you just heard Flip the Dog from Helen. And it was a lovely story, nice messagey. And I think we're going to continue now, boys and ladies. Let's go.
Yes. Boys and ladies. Are we
Boys
boys?
and ladies.
That's cool.
Yeah, everybody calls us boys. We've had this before, haven't we, Callum?
Yeah.
When me and Callum are just really confused, it's like lots of people refer to me and Callum as like,
The
okay,
boys.
boys, great going, boys. Nice work, boys. And
Boys
it's
is
like,
affectionate.
but I'm his dad.
You're also very immature.
I am very immature, you're correct. Yeah,
And
so
you're wearing
maybe-
a baseball cap as well, and that's
I'm very young looking.
I am very young looking. Although, let's just go back to Eminem growing a beard.
Right, go on.
Because if you not noticed, loads of people my age grow a beard.
Yeah.
And it's to hide, like, cheeks sagging and stuff like that. And every time I see someone my age with a beard, I look at them and I'm like, you're scared of getting old, you pussy. So I've just insulted so many people
With
in the
beards.
world. Yeah?
Some people just like having a beard, you know.
Yeah, but
Dad.
no. But there's certain people who never have a beard, like Eminem, and then he gets to a certain age and then all of a sudden he's got a beard. That's a bit weird. Oh, it rhymes. But yeah, so I've just called out everyone in the world with a beard.
Okay,
Yep,
when do you
that's
want
it.
your diss track?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. No, it's just, do you not think?
Well, Graham Norton did that, didn't he? Graham Norton
he?
didn't have a beard, and then he became a distinguished gentleman all of a sudden.
Did I? Yeah, have you noticed? It's older men who grow them.
I
and
like
it's
it
to hide.
though. I think it's
Yeah.
nice. It's gentlemanly. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think it's pussy-ish. And Jojo thinks it's gentlemanly. You're looking
It's
at me like you can't
gentlemanly.
believe I'm saying it, Helen.
On the podcast,
I know.
father.
Matthew.
If yeah, what? I like saying stupid stuff. that
We've
upsets
lost our
people.
PG rating.
But anyway, so what are we talking about in this final section, Helen?
In this final section, we're finally getting round to talking about fears and unusual fears, phobias. Just because I have not, I'm quite shocked actually. My fears aren't that unusual when I've looked it up. In fact, one of them's in the top 10 of Britain's
What's that?
fear of clowns.
I don't understand that fear.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
neither.
really, I don't understand
love
it.
clowns. Yeah.
Oh no. They-
I get you, Helen. I'm on.
Yeah.
But
Team
it's
not
just-
clown.
Scary clowns like It. It was a serial killer clown. Is it John Wayne?
John Wayne
John
Gacy.
Wayne
Wayne
Gacy,
Gacy.
They don't scare me at all.
Right.
You know, I can watch it over and over again, the old one and the new one. They never scared me. It's the genuinely happy ones.
Yeah.
And children's entertainers generally, even if they've just painted the nose a bit red, they... And I don't know, I've a feeling, but I might be completely wrong because you know what, your memory's not that reliable, but I've a feeling that one really scared me or made me jump when I was a very small child.
There's that place in Blackpool.
That scares me. Yeah. No, there's that. I don't know if anyone remembers or not, or has anyone been to Blackpool, but there used to be, this is showing my age, there used to be a fun house.
Yeah.
I remember going in my shell suit and being told to take my shell suit jacket off because it was flammable before I went down one of the slides.
Was it a fire slide? What?
No, you weren't supposed to wear shell suits on them because they're really flammable.
Really?
Friction.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But
hilarious.
outside there was a Laughing King. And it is still at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I think it was relocated after the funhouse burnt down. Some
Yeah.
say by the Laughing King himself.
Wearing a shell suit.
But he has the more... You can find it on YouTube. The Laughing King, or Laughing Clown Blackpool Pleasure Beach. He has the most horrible laugh. In fact, we'll see if we can find a sample of it and add it in.
Yeah, okay.
At the end or something.
All right, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll end with the laugh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I won't be listening to it. But
After-
that gives me
yeah,
chills.
after
So
the
yeah,
final
definitely
track.
that. And I think a clown scared me. Like...
Yeah.
Because they move quite quickly and suddenly, and they're very loud and get like that. But
Jojo's doing
like
the
a
best
clown.
impression of a clown
Yeah.
ever.
You're lucky you don't have red notes, otherwise I'd be shaking. But yeah, so they've always. But my friend once had a party for one of her children, and I went and she'd hired a children's entertainer, and she assured me that it wouldn't be a clown. And he came, and he was wearing a bright coloured top, and he had his nose painted red, and I just hid in the kitchen, and then she made him come into the kitchen to talk to me, to show me that he wasn't a threat. And I'm like, I know he's not a threat, but I can't control my...
Yeah.
Well, that's what a
Response to
fear
him,
is.
yeah.
That's what phobia
And
is.
I just wanted to cry because I felt like I was trapped by this lovely gentleman. It was, he wasn't trying to attack me or anything. But yeah, it was just being forced into that situation. It was absolutely horrible.
What do you think about people who get dressed up all loads in face makeup for like special effects and stuff? Because they're similar to clowns.
No, they're not.
Yeah, no, but they are. They're just wearing loads of makeup to...
Is it?
That's how I see it, anyway.
Is it? Because I kind of have a similar thing. It isn't really limited to clowns. It's with any sort of child's entertainment. Like when you watch the things that you used to watch as a kid.
Yeah.
Like the Teletubbies. When I now watch the Teletubbies again, they are like aliens with tellies in their stomach, and
it's not really meant for your age group.
I know, but it's that weird thing of like kids find things really funny, but when you look at them as an adult,
kids are mental, Callum.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. It's like none of it has rhyme or reason. There's no reason for it, and it's usually really bright, really colourful, and they're moving in these weird ways because kids laugh at that. But when you look at it as an adult, it's almost like that's like an acid trip. Yeah. A lot of it is like genuinely like, what is going on? Why does the sun have a baby's face? Why is it laughing? Yeah. What is going on?
I think that's kind of why I like some of the kids' programs still, because it's like the writers, it's like, what were they on when they wrote this shit? Yeah. And it's like, I'm going to dig this and watch this right now.
Yeah. But then it's like, even as a horror fan, like I remember rewatching like stuff like Blue Peter, and I think it's also the fake happiness.
Yeah,
which freaks me out. Where it's like they're just consistently cheery, and you know that there's a second when that just goes, and you're there like, how are you in your real life? You must be so miserable.
Yeah,
like one of the weirdest experiences I remember was going to Disneyland Paris, and I went as a teenager. I'd went a bunch of times as a kid.
Yeah,
but then going back as a teenager. Like when you're a kid, it's like, oh my god, look, Cinderella, she's just happy. And then going back as like a teenager, you're there like, you must be sweating so much. How are you keeping this smile up? And there's like every shop you go into, everyone's smiling. Everyone's forced to be cheery and like, because it's like a tourist place. But at the same point, you're there like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
There's like that kind of moment.
No, that's one of the things that I find mad about my autism, like finding out that I had autism, is I only found it out recently when you told me, Helen, but I don't understand facial expressions.
Yeah.
And it
can be really difficult for you to work out what
so there was
someone's
like
intentions
for years I was always asking Helen and Callum what they were thinking, because I couldn't work out what their face was, but I was just asking them. It weren't even considering that I didn't know what the faces were doing. But like, people's faces, they scare me. No, but like people's expressions faces. I can never tell when someone smiles at me. Now it's like, is that a real smile? Are they properly smiling at me, or is there something else behind that? And that's kind of what you're talking about, Callum. Yeah. And also, going back to the beards, just hold on. Going back to the beards, I feel I need to apologise to all the people I insulted. Because some people don't like growing old, and they like to hide it, and people like to look nice for other people. I'm happy with my face looking like it's melted. That's it.
Awesome.
Nice.
It's a lovely face, Matthew.
Thank you. Anyway, Jojo.
Bringing it back onto subject. That's my job here, Jojo, just trying to bring them back in.
Yeah.
What about you, Jojo? Any unusual fears that you or anyone that you've met has?
Well, I'm just going to say, actually, like, I hope it's... No offence, Callum, Matthew. I used to really want to be a child's TV entertainer.
Sorry.
Oops. All right.
And it started because on my way to school when I was a kid, there was a guy in a Pink Panther costume, a mascot outfit, outside, selling, like, advertising carpets for a local carpet. And I was like, that looks such a fun job. You just get to go, la, 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 all day long. I'd be happy as Larry doing that all day long. And then, like, child's TV entertainer as well. You just get to be crazy and wacky all day and stuff. And I'm like, I'm kind of like that anyway, so it wouldn't be too much removed from actually what is a real person. Sorry, I may be the childhood TV presenter scary TV presenter in your life now, fellas.
Oh no. Oh, that's terrifying.
Why is she happy? I don't know why she's so happy.
Yeah. No, but there are some people who are naturally happy, and I think we're talking about the people who aren't.
Yeah.
It's like a facade. Yeah. It's like from... Oh no, I'm going off. We'll ignore what I was about to say.
Yes.
It was interesting, but
a lot of my energy, though, a lot of my giddiness and my wackiness comes from a lot of nervous energy, though, and it comes from my mental health being up and down and stuff. But I've kind of learned to embrace it in that way. It's like, I kind of like it when I'm on a bit of a hyper thing, and I don't like the crashes afterwards, but I'll deal with them later. But I like being giddy. And,
it automatically happens when I go on stage. It's like my brain just switches on, and it's like it just grabs energy reserves that I didn't know I had. Yeah. And it's just like, here you go. Work on twice the amount of energy as normal and have your brain run at 5 times the speed. And have fun, and then you'll feel awful afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it's worth
the come
it.
downs, it's ridiculous, the come downs after some gigs and things, but I do love that adrenaline high. It is, the best drug is performing.
It makes me so happy. It's like the place where I am meant to be. Yeah. It feels like where I live, where I'm.
I feel like the real me at that moment. Yeah. It's like the me what I want to be all the time, but I don't necessarily have the energy to be like that all the time.
Yeah, it's like you turned up to 11, isn't it? Like, turned up to the full. Anyway,
one louder.
Fears.
Yes.
Sorry, Helen. Our
it's okay. I was actually really enjoying the conversation.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say though, but like I don't know if you've ever had it, Jojo, but like the only way I've been able to describe that feeling to people after coming off stage is like being hit by a truck, but it's almost immediate. It's like the song stops and then your body just sort of goes, yep, I've used absolutely everything that I've
really?
had.
Because I don't have that. My brain is on fire all night.
Really?
And I can't sleep until like 5 in the morning. It's like
That's
I've taken
me.
some drugs.
Yeah.
It genuinely feels like I've taken drugs. It's just
it does. It feels like it's like you're on speed or something, you know.
Yeah.
And it is, and I'm like racing all night. It's like I find it hard when we're doing gigs and I've got to go to work the next day because I've don't sleep, you know. I don't necessarily feel tired. It's just I'm still just rattling with this energy what I can still take forward. And
and
all some days better than others though. Like life, it's ups and downs and stuff. And
does it feel to you like you've been on a night out when you're on stage, and then during the next few days you'll start getting memories of what actually happened on stage, and you'll be like, I remember that, and it feels like you've been on a night out. That's what I get, and it's like. That is my night out, being on stage, performing and entertaining people. Because afterwards, me and Callum will be like best friends. We'll be like, oh, remember when you did this? Oh, yeah, I remember when you did that. And I did this. And, oh, yeah, it was well funny. Yeah. And it's the same conversation people have when they've been on a night out, isn't it? And it's just...
I do, I love that, like, when we come off stage as a band and that, and we're all giddy and we're just like, and all that. And we do, and it's just that... I love it when you did that thing, and we'll watch the videos after. It's like, oh my God, I didn't see you do that. Because I don't see a lot of what goes on behind me. So when we see the videos and I see what like Daz and Luke, like the crisscrossing behind us, it's like how we've not knocked each other out on stage yet is beyond me. I have hit the headstocks on the guitars a few times and seen stars, but I don't know whether it's adrenaline just kicks you back in or normally if it happened it might have knocked me out, but it hasn't so far.
Awesome.
I'm always amazed when I watch these two because they're just constantly moving, and if they've got the wired microphones and the wires are all across the stage, I'm like, how are you not getting... I'd have hog-tied myself like about halfway through the first song. It's insane.
This is why I went wireless.
I used to be wireless, but then I found the sound weren't quite as good.
I don't know enough about sound to be able to to say yay or nay, but it did allow me to stop getting tangled up and falling over in the wires. And
but you're in a band. It's not just 2 microphones on stage. You've got an entire section to worry about,
so we can balance it out. Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, shall we get back on fears? That was a really good conversation.
Sorry. That was my tangent, my bad.
See, and that's what I meant. Like, I saw a similarity with Pulverise and us. Like, just talking to Jojo, it's the exact same things that we do things for. And so my sixth sense, Sixth sense,
brah.
was right. Yeah, it was right.
It was. It usually is.
Yes, it is. So yeah, fears.
Fears.
Yes.
What about you, Matthew?
What fears do I have? I have a fear of heights.
Do you know that's the most common fear in Britain?
I do. We did a quiz earlier, and
that was one of my questions.
yeah, it was.
Sorry,
but my fear of heights comes from. I'll be careful with what I say. My fear of heights comes from an idiot when I was younger, thinking it was funny to hold me over the balcony of a block of flats.
Was it Michael Jackson?
No, it wasn't Michael Jackson.
You were him.
But yeah, and I remember it like so vividly, and it was like so scary. What?
And it was that kid.
Yeah, and it was just so scary. But heights, that's the one fear I know I can't. With spiders, I can force myself to get through it, and it's like, I can get through. But with heights, my body just shuts down. I have no control over anything, and it's like, you
have it
such
to
a weird
the extent...
Even on TV, watching someone go up somewhere high, I get the exact same drop in my belly.
You have it to the extent that, like, I remember when I was a kid, and even still now, you won't let me, like, walk on things that are slightly high, or look over edges or anything.
Seeing someone go up somewhere high, that upsets me. And watching someone, if we're on, like, there's a balcony and you go forward to look over it, oh my God. My brain plays out the entire scenario of you going over. It's just,
Is this why you banned me from skydiving?
Yeah, because that would be, if your parachute did not open, you would leave me with the worst memory of my life.
You're so selfish.
All right, okay. The fact that I've saved your life by not letting you go skydiving, that's pointless.
Yeah, but it's the reason you're doing it.
All right, okay. Yeah, no, but yeah, that'd be horrible.
For you?
For me?
You'd be dead too. It'd be
horrible for you. No. But yeah, so yeah, I've got them. I'm trying to think of weird fears.
I kind of, I have a bit of a fear of underwater now, what I didn't have when I was young. I used to love swimming underwater, but I've had a lot of problems with my sinuses and stuff over years. And
oh no,
I think it's kind of like developed a fear along the way. So now, like, I struggle to watch films, you know, when they're in deep water and stuff, and I start feeling like it's just talking about it will make me start thinking about me breathing and stuff. But that's something what's come along as an adult, really, than something I didn't have as a child.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like, the older you get, you develop different fears. Like, there's, I don't know, it's just...
It's not quite a fear, but I've gone from being a real adrenaline junkie when it comes to things like roller coasters, like the more rickety and obvious hasn't had any safety checks, the better, to now... I'm like, I want to see the certificates to say that this has been maintained properly before. I enjoy it when I'm on it, but there is that, I don't know, almost an awareness of that I'm not actually as invincible as I once believed.
Yeah. Did that kind of kick in after the Smiler thing?
No.
Oh, right. Because I remember a lot of, like, my mates, me as well, like, when that happened, we were like, whoa. Because, like, a year before that, we'd went to, like, Alton Towers.
Wow, what's Smiler?
It was the roller coaster at Alton Towers that malfunctioned and people, like, two carts were moving at the same time.
All right, okay.
And they, like, hit on, like, the intersection or something.
Right.
And it was weird because we went with high school. It was, like, our end of year, you know, oh, yeah, we're going to go on this trip. Yeah. And that was the night that you showed me all 3 Final Destinations, and I refused to go on anything.
Good. I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
Educational.
It is.
But yeah, and then we went, and it was, I think, a couple of months before the Smiler actually opened. But like, all of my mates, like, who we went with were like, oh my God, I can't wait to go on that, can't wait to go on that.
And to be fair, I still probably would go on that.
Yeah. But it's like, it was so, like, weird because we'd been there, like, you know, a year before. It was like, we'd seen this thing be made and stuff like that. And it was just, I think, quite a surreal thing to be like, whoa, you know, we could have went and gone on that and stuff like that, really. Or I could have known someone who would have went on that.
Yeah.
It's when you get stuck in the what ifs loop. When you see something bad, you start to relate it to yourself and to how it'd affect you and your loved ones, and then you feel it like it's actually happened, and that sort of can reinforce those fears. And
but your water one that you mentioned, Jojo, that's someone else has mentioned that one, haven't they?
Deep water.
Deep water.
I think the ocean is terrifying, but not in a scary way. It's really weird. Because I hate flying. I don't want to fly, but I'm happy to be on the ocean, even though it terrifies the crap out of me. Because it's like, it's Earth. And I think Earth is terrifying, but it's not terrifying at the same time. I don't know how to explain it, because like when we go on ferries, I'm cool, and I love all the great big waves, and it's like, I don't want to be out there. That's well scary, but it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a respectful fear, isn't it? It's like how you are with wildlife. It's a respectful fear. Don't go poking the bear, sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, just leave them be, let them do the thing. And I have a healthy fear of the ocean. It's it's beautiful, and I love water and things, but I do have a bit of a fear of drowning, and I don't really know where it came from, because I said, when I was a kid, I loved being underwater, and but over years, I don't know, dreaming about it, just it sort of developed into a bit of a panic sort of trigger now. It's weird.
Yeah, I've got quite a similar thing. Well, for my fear, but it's more general.
Yeah,
is insignificance. I think that's why because I have the same fear as Jesse, who sent that fear of deep water, and it's like you can't see the bottom, you can't see any land, you're just this little pebble, like this little speck in this massive thing. And I've been reading the Necronomicon by H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, and
Flex.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So there's one story that he has, and I think it summarizes the feeling of insignificance really well, where he brought about this like cosmic god thing that was so huge that it could destroy the universe and every form of life.
Yeah.
But it was so stupid that it didn't know what it was doing, so it was lazy. It just lay there and like sleep like
Donald
a cat.
Trump.
Pretty much like a cat. Like imagine a cat with the potential to destroy the world if it rolled over.
Yeah,
but it's just asleep at that moment in time. Yeah. And I think it's like that feeling of, what if the way you look at an ant, something looked at you like you look at an ant?
That makes me happy, Callum. That makes me have a warm feeling inside.
Me too. I find that really comforting.
Yeah, because it's like, it doesn't matter. We're just so tiny.
Yeah.
Like, just do what you can. And I like that. I'm not taking away from your fear.
Yeah.
But another fear that I have is like being locked away somewhere and just on my own.
Like Bronson.
Like, yeah, almost no, but with no contact, because that's just spending the rest of your life on your own with the stuff in your own head.
Yeah.
That's horrible, is that? And that's why I create things so much, to get the stuff out of my head.
Yeah.
But it's like, when you're on your own, it's impossible to get it out in the same way.
Yeah.
Because you kind of need... It's like a sound. You need an ear to translate a vibration to a sound, but you need someone to enjoy your work or read your work for that work to properly leave your head.
Yeah.
That's weird, is that?
Yeah.
Whoa. Another profound thing. Can I have that on a t-shirt, please, Helen?
Of course you can.
There we go.
But we also got another interesting fear sent in, which was about ticking, about objects that tick or just make noises, like the fear of them blowing up.
The fear of them exploding.
Yeah.
So if you think about how many things have that subtle tick, it's like even the fridge over
I know,
there,
right behind
there's
me.
like that mortar sound,
Yeah.
there's a slight ticking in
And
that.
but when I read that one, I was like, what if you turn that up to full and everything that was a machine or mechanical, and you were worried about everything blowing up, and you took that to OCD levels?
Wow.
How would you live your life?
That'd be so difficult.
That would
You'd
be
just be in
difficult, wouldn't it?
fear permanently, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also being touched. I don't like being touched. That's scary.
Yeah, sorry about the hugs.
no, it's okay. There's certain touches which are fine, but like, I don't know. I don't like being touched. Is that it?
There we go.
Everyone who knows me now is
There we
like,
go.
what? Right,
I thought
okay.
everyone knew that you didn't like being
Yeah, I know. No, but no, it's not in a horrible way, because I can do hugs. If we're friends, a hug is fine. But like, if, I don't know, there's just something horrific about feeling someone's skin on my skin. But it's not your skin, Helen.
Yeah, I kind of guessed that.
Because like me and Callum would have play fights. I'd kick the living crap out of him, and then all he'd need to do is like grab my ankle with his bare hand on my bare skin, and I'd give up like instantly.
So I always won.
Yeah, so he always won because I had to tap out the moment it happened. I was like, no, get off me.
Yeah.
Skin on skin's a really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, skin on skin. That is a weird fear,
That's
isn't
actually a
it?
cool name for a story, though.
Skin on skin. Ooh. Stop writing your story, Callum. We haven't chosen the subject yet.
I know, I was just saying it's a cool little thing. I might
We've also-
make a mental note of that.
Yeah.
We've also had needles and spiders, which are two really common fears.
Yeah.
Interestingly, when you're working with phobias, a needle or blood phobia has to be worked with differently because the body tends to respond in the same way. So if kind of like you're scared of like deep water or something and I'm scared of clowns, our bodies are probably doing a similar sort of thing with those triggers. But with kind of needle and blood phobias, it does something slightly different. And instead of everything increasing, I think it might be your blood pressure drops really low. So when you're working therapeutically with someone on these phobias, you have to do things to keep like the blood pressure up whilst you're working with exposure and things. I've just found that really fascinating.
That is interesting.
Yeah, that it's a very, even though it's still a phobia,
the
your body
opposite.
reacts in a different way.
That is weird. That's really weird.
It is.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, right, okay.
And I probably should know.
You
and
should.
I was probably told why.
Oh, right, okay.
And I've forgotten.
Awesome. Cool.
Sorry to whoever told Helen, who is now listening to the podcast about that. We would apologise, but...
And I used to be scared of ghosts, but not anymore. Yeah. Because it's
I think
like...
A lot of things I used to be scared of when I was a kid, I'm not scared of anymore.
It makes me sad, does that?
It does. I kind of I think it's because I I've learned to sort of enjoy the fear. I enjoy the creepiness of things now. So it's like I used to be scared of lightning, and I used to be scared of Kate Bush. And
Kate Bush, that's a really good fear.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Short story about Kate Bush.
I genuinely thought she was like a witch or something, and but as I got older, I learned to love the lightning as nature, and Kate Bush as this artist, and so a lot of the things that I didn't like, I love now, and even, other than spiders is the only one what's really stayed with me. Yeah. I'm getting braver. I'm a big girl now.
Good.
So, I was going to say, I'm really proud of my middle child, Charlotte, did have a fear of snakes, and it was me and my youngest absolutely adore snakes. And she was the reason we couldn't have one in the house, and she's finally relented, and we've now got a snake, and she's been holding him.
Yeah, she's done really, really well.
And I'm really proud
Snakes
of her.
are really frightening. I didn't realise how frightening they were until I saw it feed.
Yeah.
And it just like, hum, rap. Because that's how it works.
It did do a bit of a dramatic feed when you watched.
It was crazy, was that? I was like, if you were...
yeah.
Don't like that.
Yeah, do you see now why I don't like snakes?
Yeah, but I didn't realise before why people were afraid of snakes. I'd never really seen... I'd seen them attack, but not in real life.
They're like an apex predator, though. Yeah. They're like proper top of the food chain.
Awesome. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So what other suggestions do we have for fears?
I think that was... Did that cover everything?
I think so. I'm sure we'll have missed some people's, but if we have missed your fear out, we deeply apologise, and it's all Callum's fault.
It is.
Yeah. It's mine.
Okay. So cool. So are you and Jojo going to choose a fear for us to talk about?
Yeah, what do you think, Jojo? Which one do you think would make a good short story?
Out of the ones that we've talked about tonight, I kind of like to see where you go with the deep water and the suffocation.
And I was really drawn to the deep water. I felt like Matthew's really drawn to the ticking one, which is why I don't want to pick that one. Because he'll have been writing that story.
No, I really
in his
weren't.
head.
I didn't write anything. I just thought it was really interesting. I hadn't done anything.
I think you should
keep it for a story.
I think it's a really cool character trait.
For this week, I'm thinking the deep water.
Yeah. Deep water, that's what we're going with. Oh my God, that's 2 weeks in a row, but Jessie's had something.
I don't care.
Jessie got the name of the mixing thing, which, would you like to announce what we've called my box?
Matthew's box has officially been named Mixie.
Yeah, Mixie. The DJ mixing desk box thing is called Mixie.
Yeah, not Mixing McMixface. No. We've taken the McMixface off.
Yeah.
Just Mixie.
So this is the second week that Jessie has had something of his chosen. He's not going to shut up. He also wants to be a guest on here.
Yeah, and that is all he'll talk about when he's on here. He'll be there like, oh yeah, you're going to choose something else of mine? Yeah, I'm a favourite guy in this podcast. Yeah.
No, he's not. You're definitely not Jessie.
How many words for the story? We've got to have some rules on this.
I would like it to be below 500.
If we're reading them out on here,
it needs to be below 500. For Sleep Tight Ow. So 500 words is around 5 minutes, is it? 4 minutes? 200 words. I think 200 words.
Really?
Yeah.
It's got to have a good up and down storyline and a good gripping bit of drama.
Yeah. Right. But I think the more words you give us, the harder it's going to be to write. Because deep water there's so much unknown.
Right, 200 words.
Yeah.
Guys.
Okay, cool. For next episode,
200 words, 1 week, deep water.
Guaranteed one of us forgets, and it'll probably be me.
Yeah, it will be you, Karen.
Next episode, we'll be like, sorry, we've not got the storage.
That's how we do everything.
What, just like in the first episode where it was like, sorry, we haven't named the DJ box yet.
Yeah, we're not very good. We work on FMA plus 12 gauge time, which is not like normal time.
No.
At all.
It's like dog years.
Yeah. Cool. So shall we start wrapping up now?
Yeah.
Awesome. So for the first shout out, we'd like to draw attention to Gary Cook's Preston Artist Coronavirus Hardship Fund, which is a fundraiser which is raising money for artists and creatives in Preston to produce new works to be performed, displayed after the COVID-19 lockdown is lifted. They still need to reach their goal of £1,000, and we're hoping to help bring awareness to this fundraiser But once the goal has been reached, the money will be split between 5 artists to put on a display, a spoken word piece, a performance, absolutely anything that they're wanting to. Gary will be judging each application on its artistic merit, not on a first-come, first-served basis. So if this interests you, please check it out and please think of donating. And Jojo, you have a shout-out?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to highlight, like, since in lockdown and things, that the numbers of domestic abuse has sort of risen. So I just wanted to let people know that there is help out there, and there's the National Domestic Abuse Helpline. That's nationaldahelpline.org.uk. Refuge is refuge.org.uk, and Leeds in particular, there's a company called Behind Closed Doors charity, and they just do some remarkable work to sort of save women, children, and men as well, all genders who suffer abuse. Yeah, and it's lockdown is being seen at the moment as a means of control. So yeah, it's a serious one, but I think it's worth a shout out for sure.
No, it definitely is. We'll leave
definitely.
links in the description and things.
Yeah.
And if you are having any issues, please get in touch with those places.
Yeah.
But to play us out today, it is not the final. Oh my God, this is one thing we've done. We originally said we were going to release a 3-track EP, which is now a 4-track EP. But yeah, so for the final song today, we're going full on metal.
Yep.
And we've had Pulverise on, so we're going to stick with the theme.
The nice, sweet sounds.
No, the sweetest sounds. No, we're not doing that. This song is a remix of our song Dirty, and this is called Filthy.
Who made it, Dad?
It is Robert Stevenson, the guitarist from For My Anger, who is the best guitarist I've ever seen. He creates cigar box guitars now. So we're also giving him a shout out because he's brilliant. Treadstone guitars, and we will leave a link to him as well within the description. But thank you very much for joining us today, Jojo. We've proper enjoyed talking to you. This is the longest episode that we've ever done.
It carries on going up by like 5 to 10 minutes, doesn't it?
I know, it's really, really impressive. And normally Helen's telling us all off and like, we've got to hurry up and stuff. But you've been the saving grace of this episode. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome. I apologise for my verbal diarrhea.
It's cool, and I really look... No, there was no verbal diarrhea. It was...
Only from Matthew.
Yeah, I had lots of that. But yeah, no, it was an honour for you to join us. And one of the reasons I'm looking forward to lockdown being over, so then we can finally play a gig together.
Yeah, man.
Because
that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's what I've wanted to happen for ages. So that's my one lockdown lifting wish.
Yes.
But anyway, so this final song is called Filthy, and the sound you will hear after it is the laughing of the clown on Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
Yes.
I've been FMA, thank you very much for tuning in.
And I've been Helen, thank you.
I've been 12 Gage.
And I've been Jojo. See you later.
Take care, bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm bringing the wickedness, hitting with the 6-4, cook of dark souls with my eyes closed. Keep the sign of man, he's ready and steady and running when to put the guns on, took a nose and I'm coming. This in the corner, I'm the for a slaughter. I'm a figure to fear and I'm a figure for a horse with short caution. You want to that I'm joking when you're joking on a muffle of my spit. You just shiver, this is it. I'm a force to be reckoned with, a horse to be negative. Weapon is intelligence, I'm ugly and elegant, malevolent, I'm every element. Everything you ever did is irrelevant, full of petty sentiments, you better offer a penance. I'm a menace full of malice, got a menace full of miles, my back. Take another look at me, I'm never any less than the best I can be. I'm a chef, so you see. The only thing I'll ever taste defeat.
So what you think about that sack? Did I bring enough of the hardcore back? Did I spit enough of my guts in your lap? Are you ready?
I'll give you a second before the second attack. I'm the addict, right man, or a manic. I'm having small dynamics, no better reason to panic. You better panic, Matt, he's racking this. A bird of I know I tell up, it's gone and if it's script, there's no one to bring it back. Remember that, quick fast, quick enough to give you whiplash. You better be ready, but it be me with the last lap. Couldn't chit-chat, no more will I hold back. Let the slow begin, 12 Gage attack. That moves, throwing a parallax. The beat raps, Cadillacs, Venomil, cataracts. Pittsburgh's break backs like a bell breakdown. Set around lines, I memorize them and then terrorize tailwinds break out. With your mouth ammunition, I'll have you made as what we call Rayman. You're harmless. That's a bit of Mecha Godzilla with a war engine since a car crash. In a bar price, living in the past. Say quick, quips, you dig. What's this? Look at C-H-A-V. Those more words of the aristocracy. It's the C-A-T-Z. I'm a spit of runes, man's wards. Convinced it's sellsword. A rejection, so much emotion, a bag of cheat means one suffering. I'm a man and a monster with a wicked grin, but the balance is tipping, sanity is slipping, and I think I'm gonna need forgiving. Giving is a bit of minimum and everything you've ever written. Summary, full song, shit enough, television, rest, gibberish, chance in the bar, give you half a second to think of something to say. No! Well, start pinning, picking again, my friends went back with a despicable limit. It must be a rule lyrics, mosh pit I ain't slumped up one man's boss like that. Never your double jot jaw drop to the floor when I freestyle better over your beats than a pre-written ever could. Proves I'm ill, literally and precious illiterate. Just verse is summary and vigorous. Don't get too close to the sun, you get burned by a supernova choo-choo carrying a flamethrower. Try holding a candle to me.
You could call me the host. I got a belly full of tippers and I'm chewing on ghosts. Hold me close. I got a map that's like a gutter and a mouth full of sores. Of course, I got a gaping maw. Back home I keep her under my floor. I'm only so lonely. Why do you ignore me?
Why don't you give me a little kiss, little miss? I'll only make you a little sick with syphilis. I promise you I'm harmless and I'm nothing but honest. I've always been modest, always been the honest. When you lay your head down to sleep, remember me. Remember me's words to speak, and don't worry, I'm a close and warm, I'm so dead. Fingertips red, I'll be on